All right, so I'm going to walk you through the slides that you're going to read and engage in for this week. And typically we would be talking about these in class, but since we are not together physically, I just want to highlight some things and then I'll allow you to go ahead and read on your own. I'm not going to read the slides to you. These first couple slides are really just talking about the foundation of why do we want to do continuous improvement and why is it important as school leaders we continue to focus on continuous improvement. It is one of your main goals as a leader. Your NELP standards and your PSEL standards will focus on every leader must continually review data and really look at what do I need to do to continue to make student growth and learning better. And so continuous improvement will always be a huge focus of your role as a school administrator. In the text, which please make sure you are reading pages 7 to 17 in School Improvement for All textbook, that is the assigned reading for this week, you will find a section on first order and second order change. Really focus in on that section and it will read these two definitions about what the difference between first and second order change is. First order change is really making slight shifts or changes in structures that exist that will have pretty small impacts, where those second order changes are fundamental changes that might make a very big desirable change that truly is going to impact learning. So many times we have districts think they're making a big impactful change, but honestly it ends up being more a first order change. Like school boards will be like, oh, we got this new textbook and student learning is going to be dramatically different. When in reality, you can see new programs, new textbook, new software, that's really just a first order change. It might make a slight difference, but is it educationally going to make a huge foundational change for student learning? Research would say no, it would not. That is not a second order change. And so read in the book and then come back and review this chart. What is the difference between first and second order? And what I want you to really think about is what is your district doing that are first order changes and second order changes? Where are we with our initiatives? Are we really putting our efforts towards true continuous change that will definitely make an impact in student learning? Or are we putting a whole lot of effort to something that it might shift it? And those are first order changes. This is an activity I want you to do as well. Look at all these things that I've listed here and decide after you're reading, are they a first or second order change? And then you can check your answers here on the next slide. After you've gone through and looked at first and second order changes, I want you to think about the steps for continuous improvement. And this diagram will show you those kind of steps. You really want to start to think, how does a school leader start to put that whole process together? You know, it starts by making that capable team. And what types of stakeholders do you bring into the room? Do you bring just those that are going to kind of be the yes people and the believer people? Or do you find also those naysayers that are going to question the process? How do you develop that urgency with staff? And how do you use data to create that urgency to make a major change in learning? How do you develop that collective change and vision? And what commitments do you have for that action to be, you know, something that you want to lead in the building? And then along the way, clarity and communication is essential. Otherwise, the continuous improvement is only going to happen with the team that you have put together. And if it doesn't ripple to the rest of the team, then you really have ended with just a lot of people in the team knowing what you want and no one else beyond that. So here are some things. If you review pages 9 and 10, it talks really about building that capable team. And there are some things to really think and reflect on as you're reading those pages. And then the urgency, I want you to really reflect on pages 12 through 16 and look specifically at that figure 1.2 and 1.3 and think about, are you doing that within your current building? Or as a school leader, how would you envision doing that? And then your final thought for today is posted on this slide as well. So then let's preview for our assignments for this week. The one thing that you're going to do for this week, and it's coming up on the next slide, is the headline activity. After you've kind of gone through and thought about that first and second order change and developing a continuous improvement team, I want you to work through page 17, which is the headline activity. And this slide will kind of direct you through the process of what to do and what to bring. You are going to develop a headline that you would want to see about a school you are leading and what key points happened to make that headline occur. And you can again share that with me, you can email it to me, or you can bring it next week when I see you in person. That is your weekly activity. Your discussion this week, you're just going to do in your Google Doc, and that again is how you title it. Share it with me and my email, and this is what you are going to focus on. It's that first and second order change and where your district current focus is. And then for next time, these are all linked in your syllabus as well, and articles are linked in there. You want to read these two things and then review this one, which we will review in class. And then next week, we'll be focusing on Standard 3 in NELP, which is your professional standards as school leaders. That will take you through the session for this week. And then I will see you next Wednesday live in person on campus at the Institute for Collaboration. I look forward to seeing you guys.